Greetings, one and all, and welcome to day 29 of 30 Days of Netflix. We are reaching the end of my free Netflix trial. So, as many of you may know, I write for Game Politics. I've been writing for it for about 9 years. The managing editor, James Fudge, recommended to me John Dies at the End. Seems a little spoilerish of a title, if you ask me. Maybe they'll try and pull one over on you, and he won't die at the end. He'll die at the beginning. And then they'll flash back. Or he was dead the entire time. I know nothing about this movie other than the fact that apparently John dies at the end. I have never seen a trailer for this. It's directed by Don... I've never heard anyone pronounce his name. Coscarelli, the guy who does the Phantasm films. I like the Phantasm films. I like Bubba Hotep better. So if you're a Don Coscarelli fan and you have not seen Bubba Hotep, remedy that post-haste, because it's a very fun movie. Unless you have an opinion that differs from my own. So, John dies at the end. Will he? Won't he? I'm about to find out. There is a door, and you really, really want to be on the other side of this door. Because with you, on the side of the door that you're currently on, is a demon monster zombie made of meat. Like spare ribs and sausages, that kind of meat. So you really, really want to be on the other side of this door. But the door handle is a giant penis. Now ask yourself, how hard would you work to get this door open? These are the great questions that life faces us with. John dies at the end. Did I just spoil the movie? Or merely recite its title? Doesn't matter. John's not the protagonist. No, he's a protagonist. John's not the hero. Well, neither is the hero. John's not the lead character. This movie is chock full of practical effects. Lots of slimy, gooey monsters. The aforementioned meat zombie demon thing. Guy in a suit. Lots of lo-fi special effects. You know, pulling things around on a string. Actual, physical, tangible, gooey monsters. And that makes me happy. There's a lot of digital effects, too. And that makes me sad. Now, to be fair, this looks really low budget. I mean the type of low budget where there is a party, a rave scene at the beginning of the movie, where there's a hot, young band going, "Ah!" You know, that kind of a band. And there are people, yeah, dancing and stuff. And you can totally tell that there's only 20 actors there. To their credit, they shoot it about as well as you possibly could. But it's obvious that it's supposed to be a huge party. There's only like 20 people. There's probably the entire crew. Yeah, and I don't disparage digital effects because I have stock in Rick Baker's company or Stan Winston's or anything like that. No, no, no. I Digital effects are fine when they look good and they're used appropriately. In this movie, I would say they are mostly used appropriately. They just suck. And that is probably because of budget. No one will give Don Coscarelli any budget. If you've seen his Phantasm films, yeah, they're struggling in some of the effects department, especially in 3, where they do some... See, it was okay in 1 and 2 before we had digital effects, but once they got to 3 and they could use a computer, a little shaky. I liked this movie. I feel it's a lot stronger in its first half than it is its second. But this is more of a movie you experience than you can really describe. It's a weird movie. If you've seen Phantasm, it's a movie that operates on dream logic. This movie operates on drug logic, which makes sense, given that the movie is about a drug called soy sauce, which may actually be a living sentient creature, which either kills you or makes you perceive everything, man. You can taste the color. But the extra perceptional powers means that you can see beyond the veil the things you're not supposed to see, the creatures that go bump in the night. There are other dimensions, other universes. Sometimes they go like that. And if you know how to look, you might see it and might be able to interact with it. Or it might kill you. Clancy Brown is in this. Not for very long, but he's always a welcome presence. Paul Giamatti has a larger part. He's always fun. Angus Scrimm, the guy who played the tall man in the Phantasm movies, is in this for a quick cameo, and that's very cool. I don't believe I've ever seen him in anything other than the Phantasm movies, so it's really cool to see him doing another part and saying something other than "boy," you know. There's a dog. I would prefer a cat because cats are better. This is not negotiable. No, I'm just kidding. I always find the cat person versus dog person argument very interesting because I have observed that what people like about dogs is what cat people don't like about them, and vice versa. People like dogs because they love you unconditionally. Their lives revolve around you. I hate that. I find people who like me for no good reason, and there aren't many, kind of off-putting. Cats, on the other hand, are a different story. A cat may not like you at all. Even if you're the most wonderful person in the world, sometimes cats just ain't feeling you. Cats have their own personality. They have their own personality, and there's nothing you're going to do to change it. And dog people don't like that, but that's what cat people like. I always look at it this way. If you want a pet, get a dog. If you want a roommate, get a cat. That has nothing to do with John dies at the end. I would recommend going into this movie as blind as possible. Well, being able to see does help, but Know nothing. I'm not describing much in the movie because I think that's the best way to go in. Don't even watch a trailer. Just watch it. You will probably, within the first 20 minutes, know if you're going to swing with this film or not. Yeah. Yeah. I would like a sequel. I would like the continuing adventures of John and Dave. Dave being the other guy. But, Andrew, if John died at the end, how could there be sequels? I don't know. But I would like to see more. Of course, I would like to see more Buckaroo Banzai. But that's probably not going to happen. I'd like to see the further adventures of Big Trouble in Little China. I want more movies with Jack Burton in them. Kurt Russell is still alive. So is John Carpenter. Although he doesn't seem to give much of a shit these days. But well, you know, one thing I like about John Carpenter is he's very real. He says, whatever. I got a paycheck out of it. I'm happy. Gotta admire that. I am really, really tired. I should sleep more. I would like to sleep more. But I have insomnia. I also have incredibly good hearing. Which means if you live next to me and you talk, I can hear you. I can hear every single word. The crickets outside, I hear them. Every creak as the house settles, I hear all of it. I can jam earplugs all the way down my ear canal. I can still hear it. I don't pay a damn bit of attention to anything, but I can hear. Mom is probably watching this. Your hearing isn't that good. It's, I heard you. I just wasn't paying attention. I was playing Nintendo. One thing I didn't hear, though, is very, very early on Monday morning, Memorial Day morning, a friend of mine texted me. Now, I was sleeping as best I could, had my earplugs jammed in my ears, was rocking 6 milligrams of melatonin. My phone sits over there. I sleep in there. My phone is supposed to make a bing sound when a text comes in. If it made the sound, I didn't hear it. So I do sleep. Not well, not often, but I do sleep. That was a friend of mine who texted me at 6 a.m. on a holiday morning asking if I wanted to go get a donut. There's a place apparently here. There's apparently a place here called the Donut Bar, which is a bar with donuts. Every donut you could possibly ever want, and the only donut I want is Bavarian cream. Needless to say, I was not awake at 6 a.m. on a holiday morning, so I missed her text. She was a little perturbed. I should have called, she said. No, you shouldn't. Not at 6 a.m. on a holiday. On the other hand, donut. Because, you know, I'm in my bulking phase, and shred isn't till June 1st, so if I'm going to have a donut, I'm going to be doing it in the next couple of days. And I think I might, because, donut. I had a really terrible experience getting gas today. I went to Arco and I put in my credit card and it said, "What's your PIN number?" And I said, "Silly gas pump, that's a credit card. It has no PIN number." And then I noticed the little sticker that said debit cards only. And I said, damn it. So I hit the cancel button. And the gas pump just stared at me. So I hit the cancel button again. It just stared. So I tapped on that button like you hit a crosswalk signal, because that makes it turn faster. Just sat there staring at me. I held that button down. Nope. Cancel button don't work. So I waited. I thought maybe it'll reset itself. Okay, pump number 8. So I walk over to the center island where the gas station attendant guy is, and I say, "Hey, you!" in a very polite way. "Would you mind awfully resetting gas pump number 8? And he said, "My good man, I would be happy to." And he waltzed into his little control console. And while he was heading that direction, I went back, and the pump had reset itself. And he called out to me, he says, "It should be good." I said, yeah, yes it should. So I put in my debit card, and I punched in my PIN. I selected my grade of gasoline, unleaded. I unscrewed, well, I had already done that. I skipped that part of the story. This is one of those gas pumps with a little digital screen and a speaker, so it can entertain you with commercials and advertisements. Because I tell you what, when I am paying $4 a gallon for gasoline, there's nothing I want more than for someone to force-feed me commercials. When I'm paying top dollar for something I absolutely have to have, I'm thinking, golly, you know what would make this even more awesome? Commercials. Oh, I wonder who was sitting there in a corporate boardroom with suits lining the tables and saying, "I've got an idea. I know how we can make even more money. We've got a captive audience. Let's give them some commercials." Now, luckily, I managed to unstick the particular commercial jingle from my melon. It was a short little thing, something like, "This little gas card gives you the power to save on fuel. This little gas card gives you the power to save on fuel. This little gas card gives you the power to save on fuel. This little gas card gives you the power to save on fuel. This little gas card gives you the power to save on fuel." It's annoying, isn't it? Yes. Same commercial. Only about 5 seconds long. Repeated over and over and over and over and over and over. Non-stop, unyielding, unceasing. Until my tank was full. I think Arco is trying to drive me insane. So John Dies at the End was a pretty enjoyable film. I'm glad James recommended it to me. Thanks, James. Well, tomorrow is the final day of 30 Days of Netflix. Yes, it's been a long and winding road, Beatles. But we have finally reached the end. So, what will be the final movie? You'll find out as soon as they cut to credits. Will that be now? Nope. How about... Nope. I don't know why I'm drawing this out. You can hear the music. If you've listened to any of these videos so far, you know exactly when...